So I was showing you my bird chilies, and right now it has 50% of the chilies have turned red, so I'm going to harvest them in order for it to flower more and fruit further. So I'm going to get all the red ones. So on the path to the chilies, I passed by my roses and my perennials, my leucanthemum daisies, my mums, and my veronica. Next, I have my chilies here, and they're getting quite large, so I'm going to harvest them, because if you don't continuously harvest them, then it won't make flowers and make more fruit. So we always want to come in here and grab some, and if you can't eat them all, you can freeze them. And these are really good because they're a medium heat. They're not that spicy. In fact, I could put 4 in pasta and it wouldn't be too bad for the kids. So this is how many poblano chilies we harvested, and then that's how many red chilies, and these are quite spicy compared to the poblano chilies. And even on the plant, I left the smaller chilies, and there are a lot of blooms still. So I'm going to let these get larger before I harvest those. Next, we're going to harvest these chilies right here. And then we're going to harvest these eggplants. Not these smaller ones because they're quite small, but I have a couple large ones, and we're going to have that for lunch. So here's a massive one right here. Oops, I just broke a leaf. So now we've harvested the largest and the second largest eggplant. There are 7 that I counted, so there's 5 left on the 2 plants, and it'll just keep sending out lots of fruit. And we harvested these chilies, which are also a medium spice, and we'll go around and collect some Cuban oregano, some basil, some green onions, and we'll make pasta with it. We have some shallots inside, and we have some other herbs, garlic, so we'll stick that in there, and it's going to be delicious. So here I have the green onions I'm going to harvest, and then I have those tomato plants I plugged in. They're looking marvelous, but I don't have any tomatoes to pluck. And then over there I have a sunflower coming up, and I'm going to stake the closest tomato to it. And here is the Cuban oregano, and it is just going crazy. I just took a sprig earlier this year about this tall, and I plugged it into the ground, and it just rooted. And basil is also another thing I'm going to go around harvesting for my pasta, because basil tastes delicious and smells great. And here is some Korean basil, and it smells really good. It's very spicy, and earlier in the season I thought it was sunflowers, but when I tasted it, I could tell that it's a basil. Good day, everyone. I just wanted to show you that what I do with specific things, such as having snacks. So I boiled some edamame. You could steam it. I got this from Costco, and it's in a giant bag with multiple smaller bags in them, and you can boil or steam them for only 3 minutes, and then you eat the pods that are inside, the little beans that are inside the pod, and then you toss the pod because they're kind of tough. And I boiled it in the water, and lately what I've been doing is reusing the water. So it's full of nitrogen nutrients from boiling the beans, the edamame, and I wait till it cools, and once it's at normal room temperature, Then I pour this liquid into my potted plants so they can get the extra boost of vitamins and minerals. And then over here, when I eat all the beans out of the pod, then I just take the pods and throw them onto my potted plants at the top and use it as mulch. And over time, as you water the pots, then it gets more nutrients from this breaking down, and the biodegraders will break down this stuff as it's in the pot. But initially it'll keep the soil moist in your pot so they don't dry out too quickly, because as you know, potted plants dry out first as opposed to plants that are in the ground. And so this will provide mulch and nutrition as well. So everything gets used, including the bag that these beans came in, the large bag. I use that as a waste liner in the bathroom. A liner for the trash can. And everything just gets used, and I love that. And the little bags get recycled, of course. So as you can see, let me open it. That's what it looks like. And it's still pretty hot. I just boiled it. And you just eat the little edamame beans. And then you get these. It has like an inner lining that's shiny and tough, and then the outer lining. And I just break it all up and I throw it on top of the potted plants, on top of the soil. And it acts as a weed barrier and a mulch, and it's free. Another thing that you can do is, with the water that you've boiled or steamed things in, is that when it's full of nutrients. Like yesterday I boiled some corn. You can also steam it or cook it. You could barbecue it, but if you have the fluids from it, you can also wait till it cools down and water your potted plants. So I do that with the corn. I do that with the edamame. I also do that with the sweet potatoes. Sometimes I steam them or I boil them, and it's one of the cleanest ways to eat food, because you get most of the nutrients if you don't boil them too long, and you've cooked the food and it has all its natural flavors, and then you don't have to worry about excess salt or anything that you pour into your soil. And you've reused water, and you've used all of your vegetable practically. Hi everyone, so here is the edamame water that I boiled the edamame in, and I'm throwing it into the blackberry bush to water the plant, and it's full of nitrogen, and the edamame shells will mulch the potted plants so it won't dry out too quickly. As you can see, I have dumped some of the edamame pods to mulch this fig tree, and it also will help with the smothering of the weeds. So I'm adding some more to it to make it a nice thick layer to smother the weeds. And I'm going to add some to this is a beautifully grown 2-year-old persimmon tree. So there it is, mulched and mulched.